Hey everyone, my name is Cryptic D Athena, and today's video is about Luffy versus Lucci in a hypothetical round 2 slash rant. We're mainly just going to do a rant here real quick, and I just want to talk about not how, I just want to talk about some conversations that I've had with a couple people on Discord, and, no hate towards them. It was a healthy discussion. I mean, I understand where they're coming from, but like at the same time, I just don't think that we should underestimate Lucci at this point. So, firstly, I want to go ahead and say that Luffy versus Lucci now, it seems very one sided because of how powerful Luffy is now. And we don't know anything about Lucci. We can safely assume that he knows hockey at this point, and that's about it. We can also assume that he's probably more powerful than he was pre-time skip. As to how much power, we don't know. Probably comparable to other CP0 members. It may even be safe to say he's comparable to Who's Who right now, but I don't want to jump to conclusions with that one because obviously Who's Who has the quote unquote better devil fruit because it's an ancient zone, and as we all know, ancient zones are seemingly more powerful than regular zones, which Lucci has the cheetah or the jaguar zone. I'll put it up on screen. I forgot what it was. Um, but point is, Lucci has definitely not stopped training, and I think at best he most likely just knows hockey. And he probably got a overall physical power boost at some point. Just it's not like he sat around doing nothing, twiddling his thumbs, and then he just magically learned hockey, right? So, second of all, if he just knows hockey and he got a little bit of a physical power boost, how much would that help him in a fight against Luffy theoretically? I mean, Luffy knows Conqueror's hockey. He can now flow Conqueror's hockey with his attacks to break through defenses. He can also, what is it? Is it the same thing for armament or is it just Conqueror's hockey? Okay, I messed that up. Rio is the flow of armament hockey, and that allows you to break through people's defenses. You can also do the same thing with Conqueror's hockey, and I it's not the same thing, but it's effectively the same thing, and it seems to be more powerful, but I digress. Luffy has essentially mastered armament hockey. Uh, he's mastered observation at this point. He also has foresight, and he also has Conqueror's hockey, which he hasn't mastered, but he's definitely getting there, especially with him doing that thing in last week's chapter in 1027. So, Luffy is definitely up there. A lot of people are saying that he's Yonko level, and I would say, you know what? He is like if there was a tier list of Yonkos, it'd be Shanks or Kaido at the top, then Shanks or Kaido after that person. You know what? We're just gonna put Shanks, Kaido, Big Mom. No, no, no. Shanks, Kaido, Big Mom, Blackbeard, and then Luffy at the very bottom. I would say that. I would say that's probably the like my like just a. It's not like my tier list, but like it's just a generalization of a tier list, right? Luffy is definitely up there. He's the fifth Yonko, uh, as the people say. But he's definitely he still has work to do, right? He's got Conqueror's Hockey. He did the thing in 1027. Uh, still doesn't have Awakening, and Gear 4? Yes. And Gear 4 still messes him up quite a bit. And it's looking like he's going to have Gear 5th or Awakening at some point very soon. And who knows how much that takes out of him as well. But Gear 4th alone still takes a lot out of him. and it's his best technique, as well as Snake Man, but that's just a subset of Gear 4. But overall, it does seem that Luffy would have Lucci in the bag. Like, if they came to blows again, Luffy would win. And even if they didn't come to blows, I think it's safe to assume, since Luffy is the main character, I want to make this clear, since Luffy is the main character, it's safe to assume that he would beat Lucci if they ever crossed paths again and ended up fighting. Whether or not they will fight ever again is up to Oda himself. But hypothetically, for this video, I don't think Luffy versus Lucci, if it does happen again, I don't think it's gonna be a straight up one tap from Luffy onto Lucci and Lucci's down for the count. I don't think that's gonna be the case. I think Lucci, you know, he's definitely not as powerful as Luffy is. He's not gonna be, you know, in our hypothetical tier list of Yonkos, he's not gonna be a low tier Yonko. He's probably gonna be like Zoro level. And although Zoro's pretty dang cool, he's definitely not Yonko level. Like we can go back and forth on that all day. I don't want to. But then the point is, Lucci is at least Zoro level in this hypothetical scenario that I've got going on in my head right now. You can debate that in the comments. I won't be doing that. You can just do that on your own time. I'm just trying to put my ideas out here and my rant out here. So, Lucci is Zoro level in this hypothetical scenario. He is just under Luffy. And with that in mind, Luffy can still get messed up by Lucci. Case in point, every fight that Luffy has had up until this point, he struggles with. Not obviously not like every fight, but every fight against a major villain aside from Hody, aside from Hody and probably Caesar, um, he has struggled with. Like I don't see why that's so hard to grasp. Like, you know what might be a better comparison for Lucci? It might be Doflamingo, but like if Luffy were to fight Doflamingo now, I think it'd be a wash. But like, I mean, like that's the best comparison we have right now, in my opinion. But point is, Lucci versus Luffy, if it happens again. I think Lucci's gonna get a couple scars in on Luffy. How will he do this? Well, it's safe to assume he probably would master armament hockey. I think he would master that very quickly. And who knows how much more powerful his Rokushiki techniques have become. Like, imagine an armament hockey infused Tekai, which is the full body like defense that Rokushiki allows you to do. Imagine that. Like his punch. I mean, we know that Luffy could probably punch through that, but like, I don't think Gear 2 Luffy's gonna punch through that. Am I right? There's no way unless he uses Rio, which maybe, you know. I don't know, man. I just want to rant about this because it's kind of annoying to just throw aside a character with how little we know about how much they've trained. You know what I mean? Because, you know, again, Luffy would most likely destroy Lucci, but he's not coming out of the fight without a few scratches. I don't know how to make this any more clear or get my point across, but like when Luffy fought Lucci the first time, obviously that was pre-time skip Luffy, and that was also pre-time skip Lucci. And they were, they're obviously both very much more weak than they are today. But at the end of the day, they both went down at the end of the fight. And that just goes to show you how much more powerful Lucci was at the time versus Luffy during pre time skip. And also, someone when I in one of my conversations I had with someone, they were just like, Lucci got beat by Gear 2 Luffy pre time skip. Like, yeah, of course he did. Not only is Luffy the main character, but also it's the new power up for the main character. You don't think that the new power up for the main character in an anime isn't going to be used to defeat the villain of that anime's arc? Like, come on. Like, I don't I don't know about that. I don't know about that. That's besides the point. Actually, it's in the point, but like, point is, there is no point. No. Um, I don't think if Luffy versus Lucci happens again, I obviously don't think that both of them are going to go down. I think Lucci is going to go down and Luffy's going to just keep going. Hypothetically, in my head, I kind of see this fight happening at the end war. Luffy versus Lucci. He's fighting him for whatever reason. Maybe Robin gets captured again. Who knows? You know, come to blows. It's pretty back and forth. Maybe Lucci unleashes like Zone Awakening. Maybe it's like the first time we see Zone Awakening, even though we should see it by now. That's a whole other video. Um, Zone Awakening, Lucci goes into that. Luffy does Gear 4th or Gear 5th or his Awakening, and he blows Lucci out of the water. But he does not go unscathed. Uh, I think best case scenario for this rant, maybe since Luffy had to use like all of his best techniques. No, no, no. Since Luffy just went straight in with like Gear 4th, maybe his Awakening or Gear 5th to knock out Lucci immediately, he goes down for however many minutes he needs, because he had to use his Awakening or Gear 4th several times in a row to take down Lucci. And then, Luffy will have to rest, but he's not going to. We also got the revelation in chapter 1028 that Rob Lucci was putting a hit out on Nico Robin for her capture once again. And that was what initially brought up my idea of a Luffy versus Lucci round two. And I do think it might happen again, but like, it also couldn't. It also might not happen. Um, but my other idea was that maybe Nico Robin would escape the capture with the help of Brook, and we would actually get a Brook 1v1 versus a CP0 member. Because as we all know, we got like some decent 1v1s with the other Straw Hat Pirates, except for uh, Anami and Usopp. And I think, no, just them two. They sort of fought Ulti and Page One, and then they got out of there. But everyone else had their fights. So I think it would be pretty cool since Brook is with Robin, and immediately after the panel of Rob Lucci saying "Capture Nico Robin," or a couple panels after that, we cut to Brook and Robin. So since they're together, I'd imagine that you know here's a here's a situation. Maybe CP0 comes down, a member or two. Uh, they take out Nico, or they try to take out Nico. Um, Maybe it's a 2v2, maybe it's a 1v2, maybe it's a 1v1. For this situation, it's going to be 1v1. One CP0 comes down. They think they can handle Brook and Robin, and honestly, they probably should be able to. But they go ahead, take out Robin first, but obviously Brook is not going to have that, so we get our 1v1 versus we get our Brook 1v1, and that would be just really cool. And maybe Brook goes down, but at least he helped Nico Robin escape. And maybe in turn, Brook gets captured instead. I don't know what that would necessarily mean. Obviously the Straw Hats would go try to save him, but like at the same time, it's not necessarily like a, why would they capture Brook? It's more just like they captured him because it's a bargaining chip. But it could also be a situation where Brook and the CP0 member goes down, which I think would be pretty good. And then, obviously Nico Robin would come back, pick up Brook, and book it, obviously. Uh, but basically, I just think it'd be cool to see Brook have his official 1v1 fight in this uh, arc. It'd be pretty cool. And maybe he'll bust out some new moves. Maybe an awakening. Maybe something similar to how Nico Robin had her little uh, demonio form. Maybe we'll get like a spirit Brook or something. Something like that. But anyways, that's the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Uh, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more One Piece content. Follow me on Twitter to see my videos artwork and to interact with me as well. I am very lonely on there. Um, oh, my Twitter is at cryptic_HEL, cryptic hell, and that's where you can see all my videos artwork, and you can also talk to me. Um, yeah, thank you all for watching. Have a good day.